Alrighty, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. Just wanted to pop in here, show you guys a little bit of something that I kind of found out after I was selling on Amazon FBA. This might show a few of the myths that you guys are being told that are true. One of my biggest problems with this is it's not nearly as profitable as people actually make it out to seem. So without further ado, I want to break right into it. So right here, I have my little FBA. So what I'm going to be talking about is just the profit margin, what you're looking for, and how much you're actually making. So let's use, for example, I think the number is 10K a month is what people are trying to make. So we got 10,000 a month. I apologize in advance for the handwriting. I know it's not that good. So I got 10 grand a month right here. Okay, so Amazon's fees have actually been going up every year, and the past few years they've started to grow way more. So this year, I have the two products that I had that were live. Well, three. The two products though were really heavy in terms of Amazon fees, and they really killed those products. That is before I got spammed with one of the negative feedback groups. I had 5 people leave me negative feedback in one day. Totally killed me. It sucks, but that's kind of just the way that business goes. So anyway, 10K a month here. I'm gonna say generally 40 to 50, well 30 to 50% is your Amazon FBA fees. I've seen it as high as 55-60%. Obviously it depends on your price point, but we're gonna say that of this 10 grand we made, 40% of our margin is going to go to Amazon. Okay, so 40% of this goes to Amazon. I use 10K because it's a pretty basic number. So we got minus, so this, we're just gonna call this gross. All right, so we're calling this gross, just gross profit. So we have 10,000 here, that's gross profit. We have FBA fees, and those are about, we'll call it 4 grand for this example. That would be 40%. That's, right about in the middle. So we'll do 4 grand. So now we're at 6K. Okay, so now you're already down to 6K. Pretty quick. I know it happens fast. You take it in, but you lose it just as fast. Amazon shows you that you've made a ton of money, but you haven't really made that money. They don't show you the money that they take out as part of their fee, because Amazon understands that people like to see a lot more money, and they just kind of low-key send you an email like, oh yeah, this is what we're actually going to pay you. So even on that front page, the seller's homepage, you'll be able to see there is a little bar. It's like your 30-day sales, 15-day sales, 10-day sales, or 7-day sales, today's sales, whatever it may be. You're going to see that it is pretty high. And then what you get from Amazon is going to be way less than that. If you click on that, it'll show you what they take out, all their fees and whatnot. It's more than you think. So you're down to 6K right here. The next thing that we have to factor in is generally our product's price and shipping. Okay, so the price of the product is not that bad. It's generally the shipping that's really killer. My first product I ever did was 3.8 pounds, and the shipping was 3 grand. I'm not sure if I got a very good deal or not. I think I got screwed actually, but anyway, 3.8 pounds. It was 3 grand. It was a pretty big item, so it's kind of bulky. So I kind of did get it. Anyway, it sold pretty well. I mean, it was a good product. It was actually a really good product. It was expensive. It was a tough one to start up, but I was lucky that I was in the position where I could spend a little bit more on startup because of previous businesses that I'd done. That was the product that was doing really well. That was making 10K a month, but then it got killed by the reviews, really, just the negative feedback on my profile, 2 reviews there. I have no idea who did it. I reported to Amazon customer service. They weren't that helpful. They got the review off of my the feedback off of my profile, but my sales never quite rebounded after that. So pretty lame, but just the way it goes. Anyway, so we're at $6,000 here. We're gonna say our product price, we can call that, and this is gonna completely vary. I mean, a lot of you guys are selling like $20 to $25 products. Generally, it's going to be, 25% is going to be where you're going to be at in terms of product. And again, this is going to be different for everybody. So, just because I say it's 20-25%, it might not be. Phone cases have a really high profit margin, where stuff that's a little bit more expensive has a little bit lower profit margin. For this example, I'll use baby bibs. Okay, so baby bibs, they sell for about $20. You can source them out for about $2-ish, and then to the price to ship them, I actually got quoted on this, was $1,000. So all out the door, 500 baby bibs for me was about $4 a pop. Again, this would not be, the baby bib fees would be a little bit different, but we'll just say that our product price, where we're going to put that at, is going to be, we'll say 25, well, we'll say 20, just to be generous in this example. So 20% of $10,000 minus product price, and that is 2,000. Okay, so you got 2,000 right here. You can see now we're gonna go right there, and now we are left with 4,000. Okay, so this would be a, if any of you guys can guess it, 40% profit margin. Okay, so you have $10,000. That's all. You take home $4,000. Okay, so we're not even calling any advertising, Facebook marketing, other expenses that you don't quite think of. Amazon has their removals. You have returns. I'm just going to throw in another, this is probably on the low end, but $500 just to be safe for returns. The hazmat removals that I've actually gotten a ton of, your products that are broken or go to the fulfillment center when they're not quite right, and then advertising, PPC, Facebook advertising, whatever it may be. So we're gonna call this, we'll just call that $500. Again, that's kind of, that's really on the low end, but we'll just say $500. So minus 500, and then we are at 3,500. Okay, I hope you guys can see that. Yeah, looks like you can. So you go from making $10,000 to only taking home about 3,500. Okay, so like, let's say you were making $10,000 in a month on Amazon, which would be really good for, well, making $10,000 in a month on Amazon, which you're just grossing. This 3,500, we rounded this extremely low. We rounded the product price probably lower than what it usually is. And we also rounded your miscellaneous costs, again, your advertising and some of the other stuff that you just can't quite think of. We are also putting that. So this 3,500 is best case, like best case scenario. So you sell $10,000 worth of product, which is a lot of product, right? There's not a lot of guys I've seen who sell over $10K a month. And when you see this, everybody thinks like, oh my God, you're killing it. You're doing so well. Well, what if, let's just say, we don't really see this too often, but let's just say we're selling, 10K a month, okay? We got 10K a month. Now let's say we just did advertising and our FBA fees were a little bit higher. We'll put our FBA fee at $5,000. Okay, so now we got $5,000 Now we're gonna put our product price. We'll just put our product price again at $2,000. It's kind of a baseline. So product price, we're gonna call that PP minus $2,000. Now you're down to $3,000. So you're already down to $3,000 right there. You're already down to $3,000, and then we're gonna go miscellaneous, which is gonna be another 500. Again, that's super low, but then you're coming out with 2,500. 2,500 and 3,500. So between 2,500 bucks a month and 3,500 bucks a month, and this is if you're doing well. 2,500 bucks a month times 12 is, let's do the math, that's 30 grand a year. 30 grand a year. 3,500 bucks a month, I believe, is 36, 42. 42 grand a year. So this, if you're, again, if you're making 10K, you're grossing 10K, you're only netting 3,500 bucks a month. You'd be making 42. You'd be netting 42. And this is like perfect world scenario right here. This 10, you'd only be making 2,500 bucks a month. 2,500 bucks a month. That is crazy low, okay? So again, I just wanted to show you guys kind of everything that goes into Amazon, and there's a lot of fees that people don't quite think of. So when you see the seller app showing you that, oh, this guy's making 400 a day, he's making 500 a day, he's not actually making that money. He might only be netting like a third or like a fourth of that. So it's really important to think, like, even though you see all this stuff that's like, oh, you think it's so great, it's, it's really not like as good as you think it is. Take it from me. I was actually somebody who was featured as a success story. I had a successful 2 products, and I just saw that this isn't a long-term business. I got screwed over with a few people leaving me bad feedback, and next thing you know, my business goes from netting, between 3,500 and 4,500 and making over 10K a month to I'm netting about 2 to 3, which is significantly worse, and that's not a business that is sustainable. Now, what I figured out was, instead of selling, $20 baby products, I figured I would just sell something that's like high margin and there's no physical product. So what I worked on next is, I had a $500 package that I was selling locally, and I'll break it down in the next video, but I was selling a $500 package locally, and I was netting over 90% of that. So every $500 package that I sold, I netted over 450 bucks per. So it took me about 6 people to make as much as I did in Amazon FBA in 1 month. 6 people. My motto from now on is sell less, make more. It's simple. Business is a game of margins. Business is not a game of revenue. You can make $1 million, but if you're spending $1 million, you're not actually netting anything. I want to have a business that's high margin and also something that you can charge more for, rather than a $20 baby product. So people don't really think about that when they go on Amazon. I just want you to consider it. So here's the video. This is a little breakdown. You have 10 grand here. Again, if you see somebody who's selling 10 grand, you see a little seller app screenshot, you're going to think like, holy crap, the guy's killing it. Think about it. He's not exactly doing that well, okay? So it's very misleading. Amazon, they are kings of psychology. They understand how to get people excited, and it's almost, it's almost addicting for some sellers to just check that app and see how much money they've made. I know that sounds weird. I'll explain that again in a later video. Tomorrow I'm going to come at you guys with something. I'm just going to kind of break down some of the numbers between selling high ticket and low ticket. So hope you like the video, and if you have a second, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. If you disagree with me, that's great. I actually want you to hear your opinion in the comment section. I'll reply, and besides that, have a good rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.